Whatever, but we're a long way into this thing now, and I think we're starting to settle in on some directions. Tomorrow's a big day for a bunch of guys. It'll be our last full live scrimmage. We had a pretty good bit of live work today, but tomorrow will be the last live scrimmage, and so it'll be a really important day for some guys as far as how we're going to set that depth chart going into Monday. As we have a two-a-day on Monday, but we're going to start probably flipping the script here pretty quick and start getting geared in to Auburn a little bit earlier than we did last year. But the biggest reason for that is just, again, we've got so many young players that are some of them, a lot of them have played, but just so many guys that we've got to really count on to perform at a high level in this opener. We're going to start a little bit earlier than we normally would. Last year we had a much more veteran front on both sides, and so we'll probably turn the script to Auburn on Monday at some point, and Tuesday, and they'll start school on Wednesday. But I like where we are right now. I think we're in a good spot. I think health-wise we're pretty good. Hopefully we can finish strong in that regard tomorrow, but still got a lot of work to do and a couple weeks to get it done.
Seen any separation at left guard or right tackle?
No, right. Beasley's been working with the ones the last couple days, and basically where we are right now is we're kind of zeroing in on he and Kalen and letting them really compete, for that starting spot September 1. And then over at right tackle with Shaq Anthony, he's been taking most of the one reps the last couple days, since our last scrimmage, and he and Joe Gore are battling for that right tackle spot. So I anticipate that unless something drastic changes between now and next week, right now that's kind of where we're zeroed in, and really trying to get Norton to really be confident at the center position. Also still trying to keep his hand in at guard a little bit. But I like what I've seen from Beasley, and I like how Kalen has responded. I think he's trying. I think he had a little bit better today, and so we're just going to let those guys compete. And then same thing over at right tackle. I think Shaq took a step forward on Wednesday. Joe took a step back, and it's just kind of a competitive battle there, and that's just where we are right now. We've got to keep bringing them along, and as I said early on, the real early story of our team is going to be the performance of a lot of those sophomores, and in this case some redshirt freshmen as well, that are going to have to start and play some key roles for us.
What has David Beasley done to kind of separate himself?
Well, he's just been a fairly consistent performer. He's much more committed. He's a physical player, and he's done a good job from an assignment standpoint. And, he's just been productive. Bottom line, he's taking advantage of his reps and his opportunities. He did a pretty good job on Wednesday. Again, every day's a new day, and Kalen, really had an opportunity to be the guy and just didn't seize the moment. Certainly has got all the talent in the world, and we've seen him really play at a high level, but for whatever reason he just kind of took a step back. But you got to give David credit for that. But all you can do again is challenge a guy, and then they either respond or they don't. And I'm happy to see Kalen responding. And and then you got Shaq and Joe. These are two freshmen that neither one of them have played, and they don't even know what they don't know. But they're battling hard, and both of them I think want to be the guy. And we'll run one of them out there, when this thing kicks off in a couple weeks.
What are the biggest areas of improvement you've maybe noticed out of Sammy? As good a year as he had last year, maybe what strides has he made during his sophomore year?
Well, just his overall knowledge of what we're doing. I mean, we've worked him at several positions. We've taken advantage of some kind of this situation that we have, and we've moved him and have challenged him to rep at different places. I think that's been good for him. The big thing for him is he understands that he can impact the game more without the ball. Then obviously he can do it with the ball in his hands, but there's a lot of things that we saw on tape in our off-season study and that he saw where if he does a better job without the ball, he can impact. Maybe it's a will linebacker staying out of the box as opposed to falling in and making the tackle on the zone play, you know, off of some type of, you know, Utah motion or something. So I mean, there's just a lot of little things that he can clean up, and just being a consistent performer every single snap, whether he's got the ball in his hands or not. But he's got a great attitude, great work ethic, and has really had an excellent camp.
You
How was
close
he
to a
handle
decision
practicing?
with DJ Reader and Carlos Watkins? Would that be next week as far as?
Yeah, it'll be next week, but I would say right now they're as, you know, two really good freshmen that I think have shown up physically ready to compete, and they're strong. Both of them are well coached in high school, and you know, they get it. I'd be surprised that if both of those guys don't help us this year. But you know, we haven't made any final decisions on that, and that's kind of where we'll be next week when we really sit down and say, okay. And there'll be a couple of guys that we might carry early just because of, all right, you know, if this, then we got to have this guy ready. But and then at some point you just bite the bullet and you go with it. But you know, we've talked about different scenarios, but we haven't finalized anything. But I'm pretty confident where we're sitting here right now with DJ and Carlos that they can help us.
Dabo, with Sammy, how tough is it to kind of gauge his progress, because he comes out here last year, starts doing incredible things on the practice field right away? That's probably become more commonplace to see him do that kind of stuff. Is it hard to really kind of see that he's making progress, or is he standing out too?
Oh no, it's not hard to see his progress. I mean, when that's what you do for a living as a coach, I mean, you see him every day, and you know, we're never satisfied, and everybody has their own standard, you know, that they can play to. And you know, Sammy has been very consistent. I think he's had one day, you know, and I really kind of challenged him at practice that day, because he wasn't his best. Yeah. And but he doesn't have many of those days. Yeah. He likes to practice. He likes to compete. He's physical. It doesn't matter what drill you're going to. He's got his motor running. So, you know, but that's what the great ones are like. Yeah. You know, they take the talent and they put all that other good stuff with it and become a superstar.
Was that strange that day, watching Sammy not be Sammy? What you've gotten used to?
Yeah, because you know, he had 3 drops, and you know, he had a big drop in a 2-minute drill. Had a drop